All right. Let me check. I cannot see. Are we? Yes, we are live. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here today because I want to make fun of myself, because that's the only way I think I can get through this. Shorts, this is a mistake that I made. When you are being advised by a Jewish attorney, you know things are moving in the right direction, though. So, I bought some equipment from a guy, and that deal is now falling through because I couldn't 100% pay for everything right up front. And so a buddy of mine has since advised me. He said, okay, if you're buying, the short and long of it was, I was going to buy 20 dumpsters for $2,000 a piece. And I put a down payment about $15,000 on it. And I told the guy, I was like, look, until I get financing from my bank, I can't pay you off entirely. I had some additional cash that I had to hold on to demonstrate financeability to the bank. And the short story is it took the bank almost a year to finally get me approved. I'm not kidding. It was December when we signed the deal. I applied. By the time I got the paperwork correct, it was February something or other, whatever. And then January 28th, so it was 12 of 2020 when this guy and I signed the deal, our deal, for me to buy his equipment. And it was 2022 when I got approved, which means December I got the application started in the new year, and then I'm not kidding, there were months I went by without hearing a word. And so finally it was like, I think it was August or September, and I'm like, I give up, I'm going to another bank. And I reached out to another banker, and he's like, yeah, we can do this, we can do that, we can, we got to get the process started, we have to do whatever. And then and I'm not kidding, and then finally it was as if me approaching the other banker shook the tree. That just like, it shook the action out of the other bank, and they finally got back to me. And then another thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and the next thing you know, it's January, and I'm like, what is going on? And then finally they're like, oh, we're closing. Like, what? And this is for a line of credit. For those of you who are not in business or whatever, it's called a revolver. Think of it like a credit card with no card. It has like checks instead of a card, right? So it's credit card is unsecured line of credit. This is a secured line of credit because it, like, my trucks can be seized basically. So for me, this was about tackling $3,000 and $5,000 projects so that I could start to build and go towards goals that make it easier to run the business. And the whole point of a revolver is to pay it back fairly quickly. So you're supposed to draw $5,000 and over the next few weeks pay it back. Well, as soon as I get my revolver in place, I wait for cash flow to start, which is, it was the end of January. I thought it was February, but it was the end of January. And then in March is really when the season kicks off again for doing dumpsters. And by that time, now don't get me wrong, me and this guy I had purchased the equipment from, we're both kind of we're in the same boat. I have small trucks and about 25 dumpsters. He has one big truck and 25, 30 dumpsters or so. I was going to buy 20 of them. But my dumpsters are small, his are big. So we are literally the inverse of each other. And so we're like, how do we make this work? How do we find a way that we can collaborate to make money? And I have the attitude of being able to work with people. he has the attitude of being able to work with contractors. And I know that sounds different, but contractors are, it's grittier, so they're kind of more price sensitive, whatever. So by about the time that I get my loan, I reach out to him, and he's gone dark. Like, I mean, radio silence, just static. And he just won't talk to me. So finally, I mean, I had thought about getting an attorney. I'd reached out to one, put in a retainer, like, okay, I put $15,000 down. I either want my dumpsters or my money. I don't care. Today, a buddy of mine who's moved from dumpsters into just flipping equipment, he was like, I got burned once, I'll never do it again. He goes, so what you should have done was pay him what you could pay him and get those dumpsters. And then when you can pay him more, get more dumpsters, right? Like, do it in discrete amounts until the whole, right, one bite at a time. God almighty. I don't know if I'm gonna get this money back. My attorney basically said, he reached out to a friend of his who does collections work all the time, and because of that he has access to court filings and pending legal matters, whatever. Well, he looked up the guy that I've been dealing with. And he looked up the guy that I'd been dealing with, and basically what he said was, this is only Jefferson County, and here's what I found. And there was just this laundry list of felony, lien against him for failure to pay, lien against him, lien, this, that, the other, no property, doesn't have money, basically. And he was just like, you have nothing to try and capture from this guy. So basically, you're paying me money that you have to go after money you don't. So good money after bad. This sucks. You probably should stop. And so I told him, I was like, but the equipment, like, just 5 of them helps me get my other big trucks in operation, so I can go get 5 customers. So even if I only got 5 back, it helps me, right? Like, there's it helps me get the business growing, which is kind of what the biggest goal is for me right now. And as he was saying that, he goes, you buy from a reputable dealer, it doesn't have to be these dumpsters, go get 5 more. Like, this money you could be spending with me, go buy a dumpster. Go run it on a weekend, go pick it up, bring it back. It doesn't have to be 20. You can go get 5. Fuck. So as it turns out, the gentleman that he helped, the gentleman, the other attorney who I have yet to talk to, the collections attorney, said the guy I bought dumpsters from has a court date in the future, in other words, a couple weeks from now. He's been evicted. I forgot about that. He's been evicted like 3 or 4 times. I can't believe it. So he's been evicted. What else? And because he's showing up to court for a whatever violation, a driving citation, whatever, I don't know, that this other attorney, because that's one of his court dates, he could serve him. So it's like there's this silver platter of being able to like get him, you know, but also it's like I probably won't. Like if you look at, there's other people who may be ahead of me in the debt collection schedule for the stuff that he owns. And so I don't know what to do. Do I go after him? Do I not? If you're a collections attorney, what would you do? Like, but for me, you know, it's 15 grand. Like 15 grand for me is a massive, massive deal. I don't know if, yeah, I mean, that's a third of a year for me. So obviously I need to put my mind towards making more money with less time. Aren't we all trying to do that? So YouTube, collections attorneys, deadbeat attorneys, who else? Just a open-ended solicitation for help. What should I do? And with that, everybody, if you want to, I'll end it with this. My attorney said that his father told him, we all have to pay tuition in life, and sometimes it's really fucking expensive. So for me, this was expensive because it cost me a year. Now don't get me wrong, I achieved a business goal. I got a loan, which means I had to clean my books up, which is hard. But what do you do? What should I do? Should I pursue it and try to get 5 dumpsters? Should I pursue it and get the piece of paper that says you have a judgment? You know what I mean? Like, that to me is a victory. And these other people who have liens, it's a different type of equipment. It's a container, like a shipping container, a Connex box. And he has 20 dumpsters, and they're sitting somewhere. They're on people's driveways. I know they're on people's driveways. But the thing is I never see them. I never see them out in the field. I always see other dumpster companies' dumpsters, right? You know you know who owns what. So what should I do, YouTube? Should I serve him? Should I not serve him? Should I just talk to the other attorney and just see what happens? Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to call me. Feel free to email me. But this is another lesson learned. Talk to your attorney before you write the deal.